The professor set a 1-gallon glass jar on the table and filled it up with pretty good-sized rocks. He then said to the students, "Is the jar full?" They replied, "Yes, it's full." And then he pulled out a bag of pebbles and he poured them into the jar. As he did, he shook the jar so that the pebbles sifted down through the holes between the rocks. Eventually, the pebbles reached the top of the jar, and once again, he looked at the class and said, "Is the jar full?" The students cautiously answered, "Yes." And then he pulled out a bag of sand and he did the same thing, pouring and shaking until the sand reached the top of the jar. This time, when he looked at the students and said, "Is the jar full?" they said, "No." He smiled. He pulled out a pitcher of water. He poured it into the jar until the water reached the top of the jar. And then he looked at the students and he said, "What was the point of this illustration?"